Good. I'm rolling. You rolling, Brent? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Oafdiscussions.
Terrible.
I'm your host, Kid Swift. That was great. I love when we start off like that. It's always kind of
horrible, sir.
It's always kind of problematic when we start off like that.
Yeah,
You just
one
know that it's a
task.
train wreck. Yeah. With me, as always, is Mr. Brent.
Hey, I'm back for the culture.
What's going on, brother? And Mr. Webb is here with us.
Hey, what's going on? How y'all doing?
Shayna, we're waiting to see if she hopefully pops in. We'll see if she does.
Maybe she went to go get a drink like Brent did.
Hey, shouts out to those long walks for drinks.
Right, yeah, you got to get your drink on. But
You
yeah,
know?
so welcome back, guys, to another week. We're going to be discussing some things and such. As always, see about any of the things that kind of pissed us off this week and any of the things that hopefully there's a couple good things this week as well. Hopefully not all completely negative, but we
Bring them on.
See. Yeah, I know, right?
Bring them on. I'm ready. Let's do this.
But first and foremost, like we always do, we always start off the same way. Brent, how was your week? How you doing, buddy?
I'm going to tell you right now.
It's never a great start.
I know, right? That's not a
right
good
now.
start. That's never a good
That's
start.
conversational as hell.
Right, yeah.
This week has been one for the books.
Okay.
A
hope
lot
it's a
of it
good thing.
I can't say on the podcast. We'll wrap afterwards because there's even more. But we'll sum it up as this: life is a mixture of crazy, good, happy, and confusion.
Okay.
Uh,
It seems like a general rule of thumb, I guess.
yeah, and 1792 is a good ass drink.
Is that a tequila? I always forget.
That would be a bourbon whiskey. No, it should be a bourbon.
Oh, it's a bourbon. Okay, that's right. I always fuck that up. Because I always think of there is a tequila. What is it? 17?
you
That's
thinking
1800.
1800. 1800. That's right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
We can tell you don't drink too much tequila.
No, I don't. That's my one that I usually
It's your weakness.
avoid.
It's
Yeah,
kryptonite.
I usually avoid. Yeah, tequila
Well,
I
see-
normally don't get into. I'm usually sticking with dark most of the time.
See, I avoid vodka
Okay.
unless it's
Really?
being mixed with something. Yeah, because I don't know. It's like everything else. Like I can drink straight,
Right.
but when it comes to vodka, it just automatically makes. Well, depending on how smooth it is. Like apparently there's some trashy vodka, obviously.
yeah,
and
yeah.
that might be what it is that kind of put me off to it to begin with. But like
If it's in a plastic bottle, don't do it.
I had a charcoal distilled vodka in college, and it was terrible.
Trash.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
Those words: charcoal, distilled, plastic vodka.
Charcoal.
Trash.
Yeah, exactly. It was in a plastic bottle. It was charcoal distilled, and it was like $5. Like it was so bad. Like
Trash,
It was.
sir.
Yeah, it was just a stupid idea. But yeah, that was a bad idea. So yeah, I can feel that.
the only plastic bottles I fuck with is it Burnett's, I think, from here, like from in
Ah,
Bardstown or
okay.
something.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I'll fuck with that just 'cause, hey, support local or whatnot.
See, I'll do some what is it? Kentucky Gentleman. That's in a plastic. It's cheap as shit, but it's fine for just some decent sipping.
Sir,
let's
those
see.
things you leave at people's house, at people's parties. Like you take it with you and you leave it there. You're like, oh
Right.
no, go ahead and enjoy it. Like, oh, we didn't even you. No, you got it. It's
Right.
yours.
Yeah, and I was
Don't
like,
even
no,
worry
go
about that.
ahead, go
Don't
ahead.
invite
Keep
that
it.
nigga again.
Right, yeah. This is the last time he'll be coming over here. I can tell you that right now. Like, oh,
So look at this shit. And he said it just knocked the bottle on the ground. It didn't break.
right.
Look at this shit.
Right, yeah. I can abuse this bottle and have no consequences
You know
whatsoever.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's too safe.
exactly.
It's too
It's
safe.
like,
If it
yeah, that's-
falls off a table and doesn't at least make you go, oh no,
Right, yeah.
that is not the
You
truth.
If you
sir.
falling,
You just-
if you falling is going to cause way more problems than the bottle falling,
Right.
then do not drink it.
You just have zero
Do not drink-
reaction whatsoever. Yeah, you're like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
We're giving you the keys to life here. All right, these are major keys alert. All right.
Yeah, you
I
gonna
thought you had the sound effect ready.
you gonna learn some things. I wish I did have it ready, but I
One of us
definitely
did.
don't. Yeah, I had
one
like
of us
the-
was supposed
I
to
had
have it
the-
at the ready.
I
yeah.
had the soundboard for I had the Donald Trump soundboard. That was the one I had. but
Sir,
Oh, jeez.
sir,
I haven't
you
used it.
had one task, Gary.
What did I
One
do?
task. Soundboards, and all you have to do is press the button.
okay.
You failed. You have failed your city.
right, yeah.
You got a lot going on right now, man.
Right.
Right.
I'm trying to plug up, but yeah, what else happened with your week, Brent? Besides
Oh,
it
let's
being
see.
wild and crazy.
Everything's cool. Me and my teacher, we're gonna have to holler. I'm gonna have to holler at my teacher for a little bit.
Hey.
I turned in a paper. I had system
Oh.
issues.
Never mind.
He said, "Hey." He said, "You got to
Oh
holler
no,
at your teacher."
not hit on my teacher.
Hit on that teacher.
Don't hit
Yeah.
on them tits.
No, not hitting on my teacher.
Right.
I need to talk to them in a very positive manner
Right.
because I need them to change my grade because
Okay.
they did not count my final assignment and something's been messed up with my email and my system.
So it's messing up your whole.
Why? I sent it to them in an email and I sent it to them through the site, but apparently like 4 days later, they were like, they sent me an email was like, oh yeah, I cleared that because I didn't know.
What?
So resubmit it, and then they gave me they basically didn't give me any credit for a third of my grade.
Okay, that seems weird. Yeah.
Yeah, so we gonna have to talk.
Right.
So they got till tomorrow.
So Hit may still be involved, just not in not in the way I thought. Yeah.
They're in Cali, so
Okay.
Well, you can email and ask Whoopin. Yeah.
I like the sound of that.
it's true. I think I know some people, so
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You got to set up.
I can telegram my ass whooping.
Right. Yeah. I got something. I got something for you. I got something coming for you. just so
Word
you know.
is from Brent. Stop. He said, "Get this grade together." Stop.
Yeah.
It's,
And I
it's
need
the
to
teacher.
use all caps.
It wasn't even a
All
telegram
caps.
saying stop. It's the teacher saying stop each time he's getting hit.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. He's trying to get away from it. Like, oh, like I can't have you
Message.
attacking me, punching me in the face. Right.
And you better pay the person too.
Right. Yeah. You're gonna have problems. This won't be the last time I'm up in here giving you
mean-
these hands.
Yeah, all day.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, so I probably shouldn't promote violence because last time you told me I had to stop telling people violent things.
Well, I mean,
so
we- I
I'm
don't
gonna
recall.
try to do better right now.
Yeah. It's been a while,
yeah.
but I mean, it's just got to be in moderation.
As with all violence.
Yeah, that's with all violence. Yeah, it's got to be in moderation. That's with all violence. That works too. Yeah.
Hey,
What's up?
random thing.
Yeah.
Did that whole March thing go down up in Lexington?
Oh, I was actually going to talk about that during my week.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going
All
to
right.
talk about it a little bit.
Segue. Everything's good down here, man. Everything's good. I'm
That
trying to figure out
works.
what the hell to cook. Figure out a new recipe to try out.
I dig
I'm
that.
about to get back in the gym.
I tell you, try out. I cooked this yesterday. Just get you some, and this is just a side thing, a snack, if you will. Get you some fresh Brussels sprouts.
Ugh.
Cut the ends off. Put them in a bowl. Mix them with salt, pepper, fresh cracked pepper, salt, and virgin olive oil. Kind of mix them together. Pour them on a baking pan. Put them in the oven on 400 for like 45 minutes, and you get like these like crispy little like nice salty Brussels sprout bites, chips.
Brussels sprouts.
Yeah, it's good though. Use fresh Brussels sprouts though. Don't use like the prepackaged ones because they'll.
Okay.
The fresh
So-
ones work way better. But yeah,
So let me say, this reminded me of an episode of Powerpuff Girls
Okay.
where they like hated to eat like
Brussels sprouts on
broccoli
it.
or Brussels
It was
sprouts.
yeah, it was
Brussels
broccoli or
sprouts.
something. It was broccoli, wasn't it?
And that's what they was using to take over the world because everybody hated it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest, I'll just let the world burn. If somebody tries to take over with Brussels sprouts or broccoli, and you have to eat your way through this,
right.
I'm just gonna let the world burn.
Oh, the broccoli I'm okay with.
A lot of people don't fuck with Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts,
I
you
hate-
keep it.
I hate broccoli.
Really?
Brussels sprouts, I might actually.
See, I love
hate
broccoli. See,
Like,
I love both.
If
I
you
used to
put
hate
broccoli plus something.
both.
I
Mhm.
will not eat it. Like,
Even when, like, as a kid, like when they put cheese on broccoli, like that,
I
that
hate
didn't
that
do it.
even more.
Oh,
Cheese on broccoli, I hate more than broccoli.
well, how do you
So
feel
you-
about cheese?
So you don't like.
How do I feel about cheese? I
You-
like cheese.
Okay,
So you don't like.
I
You don't like.
cheese. I like cheese.
Right. So you don't like broccoli casserole then, definitely.
No, I'll go to
Okay.
bed now hungry. I went to bed plenty of nights hungry. Like, I'm not eating that.
I like the idea.
It ain't even 5.
Right.
It ain't even 5 o'clock.
Somebody just offers him broccoli casserole. It's just an option. Not even like he has to eat it. He just goes to bed immediately. He just walks away and just immediately gets into bed and goes to sleep.
Yo,
Like Britt just went to sleep.
the
Like, wait a
sun
minute.
is still up. What you
Right,
doing?
Wait a minute. Hey, hold on.
Like,
I
yo,
can't-
but here's a serious moment though.
That's hilarious.
Like growing up, that was one of the like my parents' favorite dishes to make was broccoli casserole or like broccoli, cheese, and chicken. Like, and it's like rice.
Oh,
dish.
yeah. It's like a, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's one of those, go-to meals that feed everybody and sticks to you. Yeah, I just
Right.
went to bed hungry
He said, no, I'm good, bro.
because they wouldn't make anything else.
That'd be it. Right.
And I had
Yeah.
the option. It was like, yo, you either eat this or
That's a wrap.
You know?
That's hilarious. That's so funny. That's
Yeah.
great. Yeah, there's always dishes like that growing up that I would kind of avoid or I would hate like seeing them over and over again. I used to be that way with chili, like when I was younger.
What?
Yeah, cause
Oh,
cause my thing was like my parents would just fix it because it was cold and shit, and then expect me to eat it for like leftovers for like a damn
Week.
month. I felt like,
no.
That's my
That
my
month
wife.
thing
like I
is real.
hate
We
that,
didn't
man.
eat
My
chili.
wife does that. Yeah.
My
Yeah,
bad.
like which it makes sense. I mean, I understand it fucking saves money, but I would just like after a while, I'm like, man, I don't want to eat it like every day. And yeah, does your family do the chili with the noodles or without the noodles?
She does it with the noodles.
Okay, yeah, see, that's what my family does
Mine,
it too.
like back when, like my family, back when I was still living with them and
Right,
whatnot,
yeah.
and my folks, we didn't use noodles.
Yeah, see, we didn't either. I mean, we did, which I always liked it without because then I could like rock it on a hot dog or something. I can make chili dogs.
Well, see, chili dog and chili dog chili and chili
It's different.
have completely different
Yeah,
tastes.
yeah,
to
they
it.
do. They do.
Yeah.
They do. They
And it's
absolutely
like
do.
as once we
You're a
tried them,
savage, sir.
I
I just want you to see this face I'm making. Like,
I like that.
damn heathen.
You can still pull it off though, man.
savage,
You can still pull it off.
I mean, you did. And it worked.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Except like I said, I had noodles in mine, so I couldn't pull it off. That was the problem.
Just,
was
you
a
know,
stopgap.
you just drop some noodles on top of the hot dog, man.
Yeah,
Don't,
fuck
don't
that,
make it.
man. It's so much
I'm gonna
starch.
try
Make
Gold
it.
Star again because like first time I ever had it, it was just super underwhelming, especially
it's-
for it to be in the food court for 30 years.
Yeah,
it seems
it's
like
it's one of those play. Yeah, I'm fine with it. It's okay, but it's not like something I actively go out of my way to go get. Like if I see one.
Yeah.
Same thing with like Skyline too. I mean, it's
Hey,
good, but I don't.
You don't get that threesome?
Yeah, that's what I'll get too. If I get it.
Perfect. This alone was
Well, it was like,
perfect. That's what I
whoa.
wanted. Well, at Skyline, you can have a threesome.
Yeah, it's the three. What is this? It's the three chili dogs, right?
thank you for elaborating.
Yeah.
Say at Skyline, you can get a threesome. It's like, well, okay, yeah, but I mean,
But I wanted food. I'm confused. I'm hungry still. I'm good, but I'm still
mean-
I
hungry.
mean,
Depends on
I
what
could
you
eat,
do.
but I mean, I could
still
eat, but I
eat.
need to eat.
Right, exactly.
I could eat,
can
but I need
still
to eat.
eat.
Right, I still need to eat
Eat.
though. Yeah,
I mean, but aren't you?
right. Yeah, exactly. But
Too soon? That was
so
too soon?
no, that was
My
good.
bad.
That
My
worked.
bad.
So yeah,
We're like 12 minutes in.
I
I
know.
figured a dirty joke was time.
it's fine. So yeah, so if that's all you
And for me,
Yeah.
family makes noodles in. Everybody since college has showed me to make noodles with chili without the noodles.
okay, yeah, right. And see, that's what I
So it's
feel like I
weird to me.
expect.
Which
The
one?
first time I saw
Oh.
chili without the noodles, I was like, "This is why did y'all do this?"
I don't think you
it all
finished.
goes together.
Right? Yeah, he said. I'm thinking. He said you didn't. You said you just stopped. You didn't even finish the
Right.
meal. You, just
didn't
stopped
even-
cooking.
you didn't finish
Do we
it.
gotta
You
make a
just got
run?
lazy.
Right.
We gotta make a run right quick.
Yeah, yeah. I need
Yeah.
to go to the store or something.
Uh,
No, that's
but,
funny though. That's funny.
Yeah, those are my thoughts. That's what's happened in my life this
Gotcha,
week.
brother.
Well, you want me to pass it on?
No,
Yeah.
hold on. You still got your story.
Yeah, I gotta go.
Oh yeah.
So we always end with Webb.
Oh, that's right.
It's always a perfect transition because he usually has the topics.
You normally.
Yeah,
Is-
right. So my week was good. Same old thing. Work was good, but especially like one of the big things this week at work, particularly was of course the whole, I guess you could say debate / decision and everything, where our mayor here in Lexington, Kentucky, if you haven't been keeping up with it, anybody who lives outside the state, decided to make a motion to remove the Confederate statues that we have in downtown
Wait a
Lexington.
minute. Move or remove? Because I remember moving.
Move.
Okay.
Move, not remove completely.
Yeah. There's a
They're not going to
difference.
get rid of. They're not going to destroy them. They're going to move them to another location. But just they'd want them to be out of downtown, especially in the location where they are now.
Yeah.
So of course that got actually national attention, especially after the events that happened in Charlottesville with the protests with the white nationalists and everything, and then the violence that happened there, and then our mayor made that announcement like right after that happened. So we've had like every national station, including Viceland and stuff, and Vice in general, and one of their reporters like in Lexington pretty much like the whole week because they had all the council meetings this week. So that's been a big thing that we had, and it was pretty cool the other night. That's all I did on Thursday night. I went there when I got in to work at like 2:30, and then I was there until like 9:30 because it was super long because there were so many people that wanted to speak and give their opinion. I mean, obviously,
course.
yeah, of course. The thing that was interesting was it was overwhelmingly pretty much across the board, except for like 2 people, and pretty much it was just one person that outright didn't want to remove the statues, and he tried to be kind of like coy about it and stuff like that too, but. It just
hitting it the whole time and looking at the cameras because
right, right, yeah, and it was one of those things where you're like,
back of it, yeah.
And it was so interesting because like a large majority, the government building where we have our council meetings here in town, it was packed. Like there was standing room only, like downstairs, outside of the building, in the chambers, of course, and they had like spillover room in the lobby and in the outside area right outside of the chambers where people could watch it on the TV. So it's kind of cool because you got this really interesting effect where somebody would be speaking at the podium, just somebody from the general public, and they would say something very like powerful and poignant about the statues being removed and why they needed to be removed. And you had like a 3-second delay because it was going to the monitors outside. So you'd have like 3 seconds, they would say something, then like 3 seconds later, like the whole building would be like, and just like erupt and like you'd hear people like yelling and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. A large number of the people that came to speak and a large number of people there were white. So that was, yeah, right. Yeah. Which, I mean, of course, I mean, there's the population one. There's, I mean, we are outnumbered in the state, but at the same time, it's just interesting to see different. It wasn't just white. There was a couple ladies there that were actually had immigrated into the United States and went through the doctorate program in UK from India. So, I mean, you had like different, it wasn't just white and black. It was white, black, Indian, Muslim, Jewish. Like there was a few rabbis that spoke. Like it was a lot of different viewpoints and stuff like that spoke on it and had really good examples and really good things to say about why they felt that it should be removed. And yeah, it was a really kind of powerful thing. And the other interesting thing that I actually found out, and you know who this is, but a good friend of ours, a friend of ours that we've known before, that's actually MC here in Lexington. His name, he goes by Real the Poet. He's actually the head of the what's called the Take Back Cheapside movement, which is basically their task with pretty much educating and trying to get let people know exactly what Cheapside, because Cheapside is an area in downtown Lexington where it was named because it's a place where slaves were sold. It's a slave auction, yeah. But particularly in the Cheapside area is where the lower cost slaves, either like slaves that were like injured or older, children, women, and then around the block was where the more, I guess you could say, the more costly slaves were sold. And that's one of the big things about people and the mayor and everybody else who wants to get this removed, these Civil War statues removed, is because they're literally sitting on the same grounds, as Cheapside, where the slaves were sold. There are statues honoring the people that were trying to preserve this fucked up way of life that we had going on in our history. And that's been the kind of the
but you're removing history. You're erasing history.
Yeah.
And you couldn't check this on Google. Like you couldn't see this in your textbooks.
Right.
Like
and that was one of the things, like one of the guys that's like works with Take Back Cheapside and everything. He had had a really good like points and stuff. And then right directly after him was the guy that was like for keeping it. And he was trying to go the way of like Civil War wasn't just about slavery and stuff like that. It's like, all right, like one, fuck off. Let's just get that out of the way. Two, yeah, okay. Yeah, it might have been about something land, but the main crux of the whole thing was the North's trying to take away the slaves, the South wanted to keep them. Yeah. Like that was,
and you know, like that's pretty much their economy almost in a sense. Like
exactly.
With that, if you take out all this free labor, then you sit there and cripple the. Oh, is it cutting in and out?
Yeah, I heard that too. I was wondering what that was. I don't know.
Okay, you're still good on my end.
Okay. All
okay.
Right, then, yeah. As
long as we're still coming through clear on your end.
Yeah.
You're not hearing any dips or anything.
Keep rocking.
It might just be like a headphone splitter.
Yeah, fair enough. It ain't like it. Yeah. So it wasn't just about slavery. It ain't just about slavery, but it had to do with slavery.
Yeah, it was it was a huge part of it. Yeah. So yeah, that was very. It was cool to see that kind of, and they at the end of the meeting, what the end of this part of the meeting. The meeting was much longer than that, but they got that part out of the way first because they knew it would take up the most time. But the council voted unanimously to move forward with trying to get the statues removed. But of course, that's not where it ends. It's not just like they vote on the council. They have to go to the Military History Commission, and those are the last people they basically have to convince to relocate the statues. The problem with that is the governor resides on that is one of the members, I think, on that committee, but has a final say within that committee, and he's been already vocal about not wanting to move them and shit like that. So that's going to be
these statues aren't very old, are they?
No, that's the other big thing and a lot of arguments that came up is, and that was one of the interesting things listening to some of the just different people, some of the white people even, that like one didn't know what Cheapside meant until this kind of came up. And then a very large amount of them, like multiple, probably I would say at least, I don't even know
40%?
exact number. Probably so. I'd say that'd probably be a good number, like around
That's
like 40%.
still a large damn number.
Yeah, exactly. That didn't know what Cheapside was at all. But the big thing was too is that a lot of people didn't know that a lot of these statues were put up in like the 50s, 60s, right around, ironically, right around when Jim Crow is when a lot of these statues were constructed.
For to kind of like fear tactic in a sense.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Show of authority. Whip your dick out.
Right. Yeah. All those old chestnuts. but but yeah. So that's
things I wasn't ready to hear.
Right. Yeah.
It's just two things.
Shit's gone downhill since that "Don't Breathe" review, man.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's true. That's true. Well, later on, I'm pretty sure we'll touch on Dickery Gregory or Dick Gregory.
Dead Dickery?
No, he said Greg Dickery.
I know Dick Gregory. Yeah, I know the comedian.
Gregory.
The comedian. Rest in peace. Yeah, but that was just funny as hell. It's just that
Greg Dickery. That sounded really funny.
So, before you segue off this topic, because I know Webb.
No. I wanted to get you guys kind of thoughts on it too, and what you guys have been hearing about and everything like that.
No, I've been just, sprinkling in here and there as far as the thoughts about it. As far as the thoughts on what's going on specifically in Lexington, or the fact that people are just now realizing that, hey, maybe we shouldn't have these statues near courthouses or places of authority and what's supposed to represent justice.
Well, that's a big part of it. That's a big thing. I kind of want to get you guys' opinion on and stuff like that as well too, because of course, if you don't know, Louisville's mayor kind of announced the same thing, pretty much, but he did it a lot more slick, in a way that was a lot more, I guess you could say, kind of damage control-y, and I loved it because I was laughing my ass off at him. Because Mayor Jim Gray, when he announced it, he said, we're going to move to get the Confederate statues removed and move to a different location because of the basically the kind of like what they were erected for and the connotation and how it makes there certain members, minorities within our communities that can't feel comfortable in certain public places because of these statues of this ilk towering over them. Louisville's mayor said, we're going to talk to the Downtown Arts Commission about relocating certain structures within our town. So you're going to get the Confederate statues removed, right? Like, he said it in a way that basically none of the
if you weren't
the media attack, like, because like national media just descended on fucking Lexington after he announced that, especially after what happened in Charlottesville. They was like, oh, it's going to fucking get crazy here too.
It's a red state.
Oh yeah, exactly. And that, of course, and that makes it a huge thing too. And that was the funny thing when we were talking to the guy from Vice, because he was right beside me where he was like set up shooting. And that's what we were kind of telling him, like me and the other photog from the other station here in town were saying like this is a very, very red state. But the thing is, Lexington and Louisville are very, very blue. But as soon as you go outside the borders, it shifts immediately. Now, not to say there aren't a lot of red state Republicans in Lexington. It's still very true.
I just started thinking of Crips and Bloods.
I know, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, you left Fayette Bounty, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Where your grandmama stay.
Right, yeah, where your grandmama stay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, go Wild Bats.
Right. Yeah, go Wild Bats, yeah. So yeah, it's been very interesting. It's been interesting to see kind of the whole nation kind of jumping on this issue and kind of
You Millie rocking?
trying to find ways to get rid of deal with it. But yeah, Brent, what was you gonna say, brother?
I was like, tag me in.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Oh, okay. I misinterpreted.
So I want to ask one question, and then I go into all my thoughts. Where have they proposed the actual place to move the statues to? Has that come about yet?
It belongs in a museum.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's been a couple. There's been a couple of ones, not only just on the council side, but also on the side of people that were giving their opinion. There was a couple of good ones actually.
Will they be in Kentucky?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The actual museums or wherever they might go will be in Kentucky.
Oh, as far as that goes, now that I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure. Basically, most of the options are they're going to remain in state, because one of the options was moving them to Veterans Park because they have other monuments. They have which I'm part of me is kind of against that, but part of me kind of understand, because they have monuments to the Vietnam War, the Korean War, World War II, World War I, all those. The other one that one of the guys that was kind of for moving them that talked at the meeting, which I think was probably one of the best ideas, is if they're going to keep them and move them somewhere, move them to one of for instance, one of the biggest Civil War battlefields is in Kentucky, Perryville battlefield, and they were move them there. Because that's fucking where the shit went down at.
Makes more sense.
Yeah, move them not in the middle of a city square. Move them to where it's in context. Right. But yeah.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that was my question that came up to me today. I actually had this conversation with my dad today. Nice. So I was just listening. I typically try to listen to everybody's viewpoints first before I throw in mine. But when it came down to the notion that he basically asked me what do you think? They should be moved or torn down or removed? And I honestly said, tear them down.
Right.
And the reason why, because he rebutted with, but they are history. And I said, yes. Losing history, but yes, they are history, but they took the loss, and all powers that typically defeat someone or wipes off most of their history. You don't be on the losing side and typically get a statue, right, because that would be technically two different nations fighting each other. One nation beat the other one.
They're what not about the natives?
Statues of
Right, yeah.
What statues do the natives have?
That was a really good
that are not on a reservoir or
reservation.
Yeah, a reservation, sorry.
There was one of the best points that I heard at that meeting was a reservoir. That'd be a bad place for a statue. One of the best points that I heard, kind of harking into that, was from one of the rabbis that spoke at the meeting, where he basically said, if I go over, he said, I have my grandmother who's still alive, who was in concentration camp in World War II. He said, if we go back to our home or Germany or anywhere over in Europe as a family, we don't have to worry about there being statues of
Hitler and all the other
Hitler or the head of his SS police. You don't have that's not a thing. But here, this happens. Basically, was his whole point.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm nowhere in the world does this technically happen. If it's technically injustice or somebody was really beaten by another group,
right? You're
not getting a tribute. They're not giving you a tribute. So for me, I'm people are it's history. I'm yes, it is. It's part of the history of the United States.
Right.
It's already in books and it's already in a museum. You're going to go to the museum somewhere in the United States and you're going to hear about the Robert E. Lees. You're going to hear about all these generals, things like that. Heck, the schools in Lexington are named after battlegrounds and people, stuff like that. So it's already ingrained in memory, right?
Right, exactly.
So for me, I'm tear the statues down. Where's the point of having a statue that, if you're about equality or fairness or treatment of people or just people people being people, people being considered human, things like that. Tear those statues down. And then the whole conversation got into like Kaepernick and standing for the flags and this and that. And I don't even want to go in. We don't have to touch into that.
So tired
we could jump in there. I don't care. But my idea was just tear them down. But if you remove them, if you do go that route and remove them, take them to put them in a museum or put it in a place that is contextually relevant.
Right.
So a battleground that would work very well, but put both sides in that battleground. Don't just make it like all one side and then like that's your solution, because people are just gonna go to that for that one thing. So for me, I think most of them should just be torn down. Like I don't see the purpose really for them anymore, and they symbolize more dysfunction, hate, and Jim Crow. Yeah. Just more negative connotations than positive. So I don't see the justice in having something that promotes hate, truly divide and hate. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So my vote would be tear them down. Right. Now, I know people are going to be like, oh, that's my history, this and that. Well, one, you probably wasn't fair. And then two,
I like that.
If that's your side, you took the L and go about your day, man. Like, don't fight it. Like, you took the L. There's no need to harp over it. Move on. Do better.
What about slavery? Why don't you guys move on?
Now here was the thing. Here was a really interesting thing.
My dad kind of hit me with that, and I was like, technically we're taking wins. Like we've been taking some wins lately. Right. He was like, I was like, now think about it. If we start off with slavery was a loss, right? That was an L, a huge L.
I like the idea this is like a basketball record. Huh? I said I like the idea of all this is like a basketball record.
I mean, I just break it down into simple things.
Yeah, right? It makes sense. So, it works.
So slavery, and I'm gonna do this in like 45 seconds. Slavery, that was an L, right? You went from being potential player in the league to being shipped to less than water boy or manager or anything. You're the towel boy that's sweep up people's sweat that they give to little kids, right? You don't get paid for that. You just have to do it.
This is perfect.
Is that wrong? Am I wrong?
No, this is just no. You're
I would
fine.
say I would go lower than towel boy. I would say you're the damn baseboards. You're the damn baseboards of the basketball court.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you've built. You're pretty much the foundation of the game.
Yeah,
or the foundation of what is used as a platform for the game. I mean, because if we
just like this analogy, period.
As far as towel, I mean, if we're gonna go towel boys, it's like what about the black towel boys in modern?
The towel boy was a light skinned dude. The towel boy was a light skinned.
So you could have been possibly towel boy, or the floor itself. You could have been the towel. That's what you could have been.
There you go. You could have been the towel. I like that.
You could have been the towel.
Jesus Christ.
Super loss. Okay?
Super loss. L's.
Now, for how many years now?
What? How long since slavery or what?
Yeah, since it ended. My numbers are. I just drew a blank in my head, but you give me those numbers and I'll keep going on with the conversation. Now, since then, we have slowly started getting rights, becoming human, being viewed as human, able to keep land,
mostly,
the things that consider you a influence in the culture of some way, shape, or form, right? We've been taking little victories, small victories, a lot of pushbacks.
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, there's been a lot of pain, suffering, blood, sweat, and tears that have come with some of these, what to others were minute victories, but slight progress, right? If you come to today, fast forward to today, are we like technically champions? Like, did we win the league?
No, hell no. No, not yet.
In some ways, yes. In a lot of ways, no. If you think of influence and people wanting to mimic the culture of Black people themselves or take the best of Black people, you could say technically we're the model in a sense, if you take it like that. And I'm not trying to do some bullshit like Aryan race kind of crap, so don't take it that way, whoever's listening.
Right.
I just want to make that clear. Like, I'm not saying one person's superior to another.
Right.
In that sense, if you take it from like a cultural standpoint, people take from the culture and try to replicate it for themselves. Then we are kind of a blueprint, possible champion contender. We're a champion contender in that sense.
I like that idea of blueprint.
All right. So if you talk about like all the systematic racism and institutionalized racism, those the same thing. But you think about those kind of concepts when you get with like white flight, red line district, people just not having the knowledge of how to be productive and generate wealth within the culture, right? Okay. Then you would say we're definitely not champions. Some people are, some people aren't. You know what I'm saying? Like there's always going to be somebody that makes it to the upper echelon, because there was, even during slavery, there were black doctors up in the north. Like there was actual black doctors, stuff like that. So there's always going to be somebody who's made it to that level. But there has been wins, right? There's been a lot of wins since slavery started up until now. So I would say on a trend, we are moving towards positive, like we're positively moving like overall.
Yeah, I can understand that when you say that way.
And that's what I was trying to say. Like we're having a positive trend.
Yeah, we're trying to move. Yeah, we're trending. We're not in the black yet, but we're trending. Hopefully, upwards.
Is that intended?
No, that wasn't. But that's good. Yeah. That wasn't at all intended. I promise that wasn't intended. But I didn't think about that.
I wasn't.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. I wasn't even thinking about it.
You leave the segues to me, sir. But I mean, and that's how I kind of think of like when somebody says, "Well, black people." I mean, their history is this. And I was like, if you say something about black people's history, they took losses, blah, blah, blah. Well, slavery erased people's history. That's true.
Yeah.
People can't get that history back. You can see that through generations of people trying to find their history or create a new history for them, for themselves, right? Right. So if that's going to happen, then why can't I say, like, for Confederate people, and if that's the thing, you took the loss, your history's gone, like throw away that, like ship that off, like that history doesn't matter anymore. It's not canon. Let's move on.
It's the Thrawn series.
Like, get that shit out there. And that's just my thoughts on certain things, but you know,
I dig it.
It's a subject I'm trying to watch how I say things on this.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Like,
it's a lot.
Just be better people, all right? If you are for for justice, liberties, pursuits of happiness, you gotta let something go.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
And that's the thing. A lot of people, I think, it seemed like most of the people that were there that were talking on behalf of getting rid of it were kind of in that moment of understanding. Some of them, like I said, for the first time, exactly what's seen as wrong, and the whole idea of if this is offensive to one person, even if it's not directly offensive to me, then it's still something that needs to be taken care of. It's not. It doesn't have to just be offensive. It doesn't have to be offensive to everybody to need to be
addressed.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is in a lot of ways offensive to everybody. Like.
Right, yeah, and that's the thing. But at the same time, it is when you think about the idea of, if you think about it in the sense of, yes, there's the obviously connotations of racist and bigotry and the symbolism that it represents, and then also if you can, I mean, it could easily be a defense thing. You can throw it in their face where, hey, it should be offensive to you guys too who support it because you niggas lost. Like, I
mean, you can do that, but that's only gonna start a fight. Like,
yeah, right, exactly. But I'm saying that's what I'm thinking.
I feel like more people are on the side of this is offensive, this and that. The minority on this type of subject just comes off the loudest. Like, I feel like they're the smaller minority that believe like, oh, there's nothing wrong. Slavery wasn't bad.
Vocal
blah blah blah. Yeah. Or they're the most vocal.
Right? Or they'll sit there and pretend that it is not about slavery, which is the biggest thing that they keep trying to say is
which we saw.
Like, this was not about slavery.
Which we saw. Which, like I said, I saw people there.
It was about economy. It was about economics.
It was about corn.
It was about
sugar,
cotton,
sugar
corn,
cane.
and all that.
It's always about money.
Right.
Yeah, it was about.
But how did you generate that money?
Right. huh? I mean, but now it's moved towards the jails and things like that. But that's a whole nother.
No,
topic.
we're talking about this. We're not talking about that.
No. I'm done.
That'll take a few days. We'll need a 24-hour episode.
Back it off.
I love how that fit two different ways as far as when you say we talking about this, we ain't talking about that.
It'll take God
but
bless.
anyway,
we could do a live stream for 24 hours on that subject.
I'd rather not.
I know, right?
Oh no! You're gonna lose all your friends and followers.
I know, right? Exactly.
Not even the fact that alienating anybody. It's just that shit's depressing.
Yeah, it is. Right. But yeah, no, I definitely understand what you're saying.
Last week,
Brent,
you all went down that rabbit hole, and I was like, I don't have the energy for it.
he said,
This week,
I got time.
I got the energy for it. All right.
he said, "Can't do it. I'm tired." Webb, what was you gonna say? Did you already say something?
How was your week, man? How was life?
Yeah, how's your week?
Well, kind of. Well, yeah. Nice little segue.
Any
It's
less racist?
racism.
Any less racist?
Nice little segue. Y'all
Right.
know how I told y'all as far as like I appreciate having a little outlet as far as like sit there and just say whatever the fuck I can say.
Right, absolutely.
Because I can't do this at work. Well,
Yeah.
I dipped my toe in the sand shit at work.
Oh, okay.
So I'm in my cubicle. I'm kind of off in a little corner in the cut a little bit.
Got you.
I don't interact with people as much as I should. I mean, that's kind of me being antisocial, whatever. It's just
Kind
like,
of a hard balance to strike because I do the same thing sometimes.
yeah, it's like, oh yeah, I should interact with people more. It's like, but I don't really care for these niggas. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I'm
It's
like, I don't feel like it. I'm like, I don't want to.
and it's like the shit I'm on ain't the same type of shit they own,
Right,
and then
exactly.
whatever. And so I'm sitting there, and there's been some changes around as far as the seating arrangement and whatever. And so there's more people near me.
Okay.
But I'm still not interacting with these people. So
I like the idea of you just like looking up every day and like slowly everybody just keeps getting closer and closer. You're like, was you right there yesterday?
They're trying to get me.
Right. Yeah. They're trying to trap me.
And so there's there, as far as there's more conversations going on around me. I can jump in every now and then.
Right. Yeah.
But then I'll sit there and just kind of retreat back. It's like, okay, y'all, hold on, I got work to do.
Right.
It's like, I don't know
Got to parachute out
how
of the
the
plane.
hell. I don't know how the hell y'all keep finding time to sit there and talk to each other.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway,
I guess I'm the only one working in here. That's what I thought. Damn it.
Yes.
Everybody shut up.
Yes, you are.
Right,
We're
yeah.
taking a break right
They're
now.
just like
Please
looking.
continue.
Everybody's
your work.
looking like, oh shit.
it's like, oh no, and it's the only black guy on this whole side of the building.
Right. Oh god. Oh my goodness. That's
Like,
funny.
yeah, there's. I mean, in a sense, yeah, I can count on one hand the number of black men in this or in the whole building.
Yeah.
And unless you count IT,
Right.
which is like they're kind of off and on in the building anyway, I'm the only black guy on my side of the building.
So if you retreat from a conversation
Smart
because it
brother.
got a little heavy, you
No,
know, they're
sometimes
thinking you're
I'll
the angry
treat-
black guy over there, right?
well, yeah, I don't want to avoid. This is the part. Yeah, this is where it comes up as far as not wanting to come across like the angry black guy or
Right.
the angry black person, as far as like
I mean,
the militant
you
or
are
whatever.
angry.
No,
He's not generally.
I'm joking.
I like the idea of him leaning. I like the idea of like every time like he's got like different clothes on, but whenever he leans back in the conversation, he's got like suddenly a dashiki and a what's name just and a
that's
kufi just
probably,
appears on
that's
him.
probably what they see. That's probably what they
just-
see anyway.
Let me tell you about the conversation. You're like, oh my god, like all right, everybody just start typing.
Make them hold.
Just
Oh,
start
good
typing.
morning. Or it's like, good morning, Emmanuel. Good morning.
What do you mean?
He's like, oh, undercover brother.
Yeah. Comes from the word goyard, which means the absence of color. Starts going on. I'm like, all right, I'm not talking to him in the morning. Okay, do it.
Top of the morning, sir.
Top.
That's all they go talk to you.
He just screams.
Like the top of the poplar tree
Right.
where strange fruit was hanging.
Right. He's like, Jesus.
You know what
Christ.
else was strange?
Right, yeah. He's like, I can't talk
But
to
no,
him before
I'm
I get
sorry.
my coffee.
I'm getting off track. So
That's
I'll
what we're
chime in. I'll jump in on
Right.
I'll jump in on conversations here and there, and then for some odd reason, well, obviously because I don't like when I smack my lips. But anyway, I was like,
No, you're fine.
as far as we get closer to football season,
Oh, yeah.
Kaepernick came into conversation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I had to jump in a little bit. It's kind of going like, yo, hold on now, chill out. It's not a fact that it's like he's not as far as hold on. I'm trying to calm down.
No, yeah.
All right,
Talk,
so
man.
yeah,
Talk to him.
they were sitting there going getting it on. It's like, oh, they're acting like Kaepernick isn't getting a job because of racism. It's like, no, he's just not that good. spun my little chair around. It's like, well,
Swings
hold on
around.
a second. Hold on a second.
There-
If you look at his stats, he's been way higher than the people that are getting starting jobs.
there's
He's
a-
doing way like he's like his stats were way better than a lot of people that are sitting there doing starting jobs.
That's the easiest argument to diffuse.
Yeah,
Because of
you
literally-
can
yeah.
literally look
Yeah,
at
oh
these
God.
stats.
Yeah, absolutely.
His completion percentage, his amount of touchdowns compared to the amount of interceptions he's
Yeah.
had, and the fact that he didn't get as much time nearly as many as some of these other folks.
Mm-hmm.
It sit there and shows that when he's able to produce, or when you give him the time to produce, he produces.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And the fact for him to sit there and be playing on a team or with a coach, I should say, that has a completely different play style,
Yeah.
which is different from what he used or is where he was in his. Well, I can't even say in his
When
prime.
they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
When they went to
it was
the
a completely
different
the
style, yeah.
Super Bowl, they was contenders. I know what you're talking about. I'm a Niners
Yeah,
fan.
absolutely.
And it's, for him to, he's able to produce. And it's just the fact that, and even then it was kind of going like, they tried to backpedal a little bit. And I was like, for him to sit there and not get a job, especially even as a backup. And it's like, oh, well, yeah, backup. They say, yeah, he could be great as a backup. And it's like, they made it sound like he should be a starter. And I was like going like, all right, and then I sit there and retreat. It's like, no,
Swings
this
around,
is like,
swings the chair around. All
Like,
right, I'm not doing this right
it's
now.
like this. We're not doing this. Plus, I'm getting a call. Why the fuck are y'all not on the call? Why the fuck are y'all not getting any work?
I guess my phone's the only one ringing. Just keeps yelling.
So with that notion,
It's so
I also
funny.
had this conversation with my pops.
Nice.
Regarding
yeah.
Kaepernick,
Yes, regarding Kaepernick.
did he ask him to cut his hair too?
No.
Like Vic?
No. My father would never not.
I'm
But
about to say
that
that's-
did come up.
There's no.
That-
I'm about to say, yeah. There's no way Brent's pops would ever say that.
Nah.
Right, yeah.
We would have a stare down. We would have to have a come to Jesus moment.
I'm about to
like,
wrestle you in the
somebody's getting
yard.
baptized.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Somebody's getting baptized.
Right.
But so I want to break these down in two parts. So that conversation about Kaepernick not getting a job, not even as a backup, this and that, has made me. I'm reluctant to watch very much football, NFL this year.
Right.
And I say that because I am actually disappointed in the whole organization entity that is the NFL
Right. Yeah.
and how they handled this across the board.
Right.
Right?
Plus other shit like domestic violence.
There's
Yeah.
the other shit too, and I'll get into that another time. Like
Right.
I don't have the heart to do that today. But overall, from the top to the bottom,
Yep.
I'm disappointed in the NFL. I'm disappointed at the owners. That, I mean, I expected it. I actually expected this to happen from majority of the owners. But I didn't think all of them would pull this type of thing where they blackballed, Kaepernick. The coaches, the head coaches, it took way too long for some coach to finally say something positive about Kaepernick and his work ethic and this and that. I was
Carroll,
mad at the
wasn't it?
media.
Yeah. Pete
Pete
Carroll's the
Carroll.
first. Pete Carroll's the
and-
first.
What was the other one?
And then Harbaugh also.
Yeah.
Oh well, he
There we
ain't
go.
even. In
Yeah,
the
he's
NFL
not even an
anymore.
NFL coach anymore. So I mean, it kind of you can take
But
it. But I mean,
somebody
it's a good-
finally said something positive because
Yeah,
they was
absolutely.
dragging him through the mud. The media was dragging him through the mud, saying he lacked from their secret sources or whatever, that he lacked leadership. He wasn't a producer. He wasn't
Right.
this, that. And I was like, 3 years ago, in the last 5 years, this dude took the team to a Super Bowl.
Right. Exactly.
Like, there's players that have never even gotten out the first round of a playoff game.
Right. Yeah.
And we're talking about a dude who took his team to a Super Bowl, and he
that's funny.
was a new quarterback. Like, he was a new face to the franchise.
Yeah.
I
And here,
was disappointed.
I was just gonna say, here's the thing about the whole Pete Carroll thing. That that was he was one of the first that like said something positive, but it annoyed me how he did it because he did the whole thing of he's too good to play here, type thing where it was kind of like he said something positive, but it was enough to like, but he still kind of like nudged him away.
Well,
Like
they got their own questionable Negro quarterback.
right, yeah, and that's the thing. He was like, I can't have Kaepernick and fucking what's his name in the same locker room together. You understand what's gonna happen? He said, I have no control in this locker room.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna. So I was actually disappointed in all the coaches because they did a lot of that. Pete Carroll, he's too good to play here. That's a lie. What coach doesn't want an extra better quarterback? Like, who doesn't want a backup who's amazing? You know what I'm saying? Who's like really good, a solid player. Now, there was other teams who straight up and flat out said they wanted to look at Kaepernick, but their fans sent so much mail and so much hate mail and this and that in order for them to not lose money, they was like, nope, can't do it. We're not going to bring him here.
The other big one that comes to mind too, that was kind of the reverse of that was
the Raven.
Was the Jets. The Jets wanted him and were like, yeah, like we fucking need this. Like we've been shit for years. And the problem was their general manager is the Trump supporting asshole that was like, no, we're not gonna do it. And literally every coach was like, no, we'll take him. And like all the fans were like, yeah, please God, give us a halfway decent quarterback. And then their GM was like, no.
And that's why I hope the Jets just lose all their games.
But
then you have players, team, every facet of the NFL let me down in this scenario. Right. Like players were going against it, and I understand it's one that you take your stance on however you feel, this and that, whether it's based in logic or your own just emotional feelings, whatever. Like I'm not even going to touch that right now, but you had. All the the commissioner did not even address this with the commissioner could have been like, let's not blackball this situation. The commissioner came down and been like, all right, this needs to happen because you all are now making politics a part of the sport and we can't have that, or this is an injustice, whatever.
Or he could have just went to the owners and been like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
why
he
are y'all okay?
Aside and did this, but he didn't even weigh in or come down on this, and that's a whole nother topic on the commissioner.
He's too busy having a hate boner for Brady and the Patriots.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So
he's focused. So stupid.
So the NFL has let me down in this situation. Players, coaches, GMs, managers, owners, and commissioner, everybody let me down. And I don't understand how you could, as an organization, promote being diversity, including people, helping others, standing up for rights, doing stuff together, things like that, volunteerism, making a better world, this and that.
Right.
Including your individuality and uniqueness, cultivating that. And then someone who's literally doing the embodiment of what you're trying to portray on and off the field. You completely say, fuck no, we're not dealing with that. You can't tell me you're trying to sell one thing and then and then all you do is pretty much give people shit. You just nah, fuck that. That shit's for the word. We only do it for words. We don't believe in that. And I can't respect that. That bothers me. Your image is one thing that you've been wanting to sell for the last 25 years, at least. And then now when there's a person who's truly you should have made a stance. This was it. You could have told your fans, you're going to get more fans. You can't tell me you were not going to get some fans because a team hired Kaepernick.
Right.
I'm going to cheer for whoever fucking team gets him just on GP that you picked up Kaepernick. Well, now you kind of fucked up, and I'm not probably going to cheer for you. But, I would have looked out for your team a little bit more. I would have cared a little bit more just so I could see him play this or whatever. But I don't like that business model. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm not going to allow any other company to do that. Why would I allow the NFL to get away with, we say one thing, but in reality, we don't give a shit about that.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. It's
Prince thoughts.
Thoughts. Yeah, so it's one of those things. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, at this point, it's one of those things where everybody's kind of sick of hearing about it. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting to see how it turns out.
Yeah, it's kind of deflated my whole hype for fantasy football.
Yeah, I know, right?
Trying to get into the league and all that.
Yeah.
Or joining the league.
Right.
Draft coming up in a couple weeks, and it's just
right. Whatever. But yeah, so. Is that all your week?
No,
yeah, you was on your week.
So,
we can segue
just
into
ignoring that. And then the only other thing I for real did, other than procrastinating and not finishing this damn cartoon, was watch Defenders the day it came out on Friday. And I was I was sitting there just getting my game plan and everything ready Thursday night, and it's like, okay, so Friday morning, as soon as I wake up, I'm gonna watch as much as I can before it's time to go to work.
Right.
And then when I get home, then when I get to work, I'll sit there and just watch a couple episodes here and there between my breaks and this, that, and the other. And then when I get home, I'll just finish it because I'm sitting there thinking it's 13 episodes in the whole season. Have you seen it, Brent?
I have not. I'm going to queue it up today since I've already caught up on Game of Thrones and Power for the day.
Okay, for the day. Oh, was there season finale and stuff is already?
No. Well, Game of Thrones was leaked on Monday or Tuesday. The episode for Sunday was leaked Monday or Tuesday by like not a hacker, but like a company messed up and accidentally leaked it by accident
On like the HBO app or something? Or?
Yep, on HBO or something like that.
Was this Game of
I
Thrones?
think it was like in like Sweden or something weird, like some other place.
Oh, where else? Ain't that where Pirate Bay is?
I think it is.
But it wasn't hackers. It wasn't hackers this time. It was actual like a company messed up.
There was
That's what they said,
there was a
allegedly.
few hackers that got arrested in India for.
But that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Those are the last 2 weeks. They
Okay.
uploaded the Game of Thrones episodes like 2 weeks in a row early, and
okay.
hacked that and leaked those. So
Gotcha.
those I watched on Game of Thrones. I watched on Tuesday, and it's bananas. And then was it Stars? I think it's Stars with Power.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They upload theirs at 12:01 Sunday morning.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so I watched that like 2 o'clock this morning.
Okay.
Well then.
Very nice. Very nice.
Okay.
All right.
But see, so I was in it. So when I woke up, which was like 6, 7 in the morning, I sat there knocked out 4 episodes before it was time to go to work. I didn't even realize. I knocked out 4 episodes plus Desus and Mero.
Nice.
I don't know how the hell I was able to do either of those and get a shower in. But I managed it.
We're off air. I got something to say.
Okay,
That's
then.
great.
Okay. I knocked out 4 episodes plus Desus and Mero.
Yeah.
Then went to work, and I only managed to see 2 or 3 episodes in the middle of the work, and then I was like, all right, so that's episode. All right, so I've knocked out episode 7. When I get home, I got about 6. Okay, I got 6 more episodes to take care. I got 6 more episodes, and then I'll finish. I got home.
Right.
I only had 1 left. There's only 8 episodes in that whole, they didn't even call it a season. It's a series 1 of Defenders.
Series, yeah.
Timing? What you
Check your phone.
Check your phone.
Okay, then.
Check your phone. Look in the message.
Okay.
well,
I'll put it in the message.
Just look at your
Okay.
phone.
All right. Well, it's gonna be a minute because I'm recording on the other
Oh,
phone. So.
my bad.
I
That's a
got it.
done
I'll
deal.
check it.
It's a wrap. Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
And so series 1, which I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to figure out why they called it that. I guess because normally with seasons,
Yeah.
they do 13 episodes.
Yeah.
So with the fact that there are only 8 episodes in this series,
Yeah, it's
it
interesting.
really did it it really did it a good service as far as shortening the amount of episodes are needed, because ever since the second season of Daredevil, Luke Cage, and especially Iron Fist, shit dragged when it had to go as far as going up to 13 episodes.
Right, exactly.
Question.
So overall, do you like Defenders, and are you recommending it? I have not seen Iron Fist. I've seen everything else except for Iron Fist.
I liked
As of
it.
right
I
now.
would give it a B.
Okay.
If any, I would give it a B. Maybe B minus or something like that.
Nice.
I think the fact that there were 8 episodes really helped it out as far as
Okay,
as far as making sure like stuff is spaced out exactly the way it needs to be. We don't have to worry about any filler or any extra steps or stuff like that. We don't need to worry, or we don't need any of that. And they had another villain that was kind of I don't want to spoil too much, but well, yeah, they kind of been doing that as
Did
far
they
as like
hold their own? Like, were they a like
Cohesive bunch.
like did the villain make you interested that they were a villain? Like, did they hold their own as a villain?
the
As an
main
actor,
villain.
I guess it's the actor wise.
The main villain, Sigourney Weaver, she has a presence about her that makes you feel like, okay, shit's about to go down. And then like all of a sudden, like other additional characters come into play.
All right.
Our additional villains show up, whether you may have seen them before in other shows. Yeah, you've pretty much seen them in other shows, whether it be Iron Fist or Daredevil, especially Iron Fist and Daredevil. And it's kind of going once they kind of come into play, they kind of undercut Sigourney's
Okay.
character in the
All right.
sense that like, well, hold on, I thought this was my show. What are you doing? It's like, yeah.
right.
And then later in the series, like kind of the shift
Don't
as
spoil
far
it.
as the focus, the shift as
Don't
far as
spoil
the
it.
focus. I'm trying not to. I promise you.
Stop it.
No,
Stop it. You're going down that lane, man.
it's really not. I'm not straight up.
Okay.
I'm not saying
All right, I
anything. The
trust
shift
you. I
as
trust
far
you.
as the focus, like as I said, she kind of felt like, it's like, well, wait a minute, hold on. I thought this was my big thing. I'm supposed to be the big bad. It's like, oh wait, well hold on, we still got these people here. It's like, just kind of push them in there, just kind of make sure they get some screen time too. And that's why I feel like as far as they kind of undercut it. And
Okay.
Danny Rand, aka Iron Fist, is
DeReezy.
I still do not like him, but they did a good job as far as making me care about him now.
Okay.
They're doing better
helps.
as far as improving him compared to the last season where he was honestly kind of like the weakest character in his own show.
Right, exactly.
And
was a
there's
big
even
thing.
some parts they and this show they gave no fucks when it came time to sitting there giving little jabs at Iron Fist.
Which is great because they know it's one of those things where they know the audience is going to do it anyway.
Yeah,
They're aware.
exactly.
Yeah, they're self-aware, which I think is always a
Self-aware.
good quality to have.
And as far as
Especially in
they're
writing.
fighting the Hand, which have been around for years, whatever. And they've came across different Iron Fists,
Right.
And they always make sure to point out that Danny is either the weakest Iron Fist they've ever came across or the dumbest Iron Fist they've ever came across. And it was just it felt so good to sit there and just see them say that, especially
That's
one of the bad
hilarious.
guys he was straight up captured by the heroes. And he was sitting there talking shit, like while he was captured. And he was like, "You have got to be the dumbest Iron Fist you are the dumbest Iron Fist I've ever met." I was like, "Ha!"
That's so good. That's great.
Oh, you're about to say?
What was it?
Random question.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
We just said the hand,
Zahan.
and then I do know about the foot.
Yeah.
From Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Yes.
Which
are they in the same universe?
trivia? Oh well, funny little trivia
We
here.
were just talking about this.
We
before
were just
started
talking about this
recording.
before the show started. Daredevil had always, or the Hand have been around way longer than the Foot.
Yeah.
They were these evil ninja association, like secret society, et cetera, et cetera. Now, you know how Daredevil got his powers, right?
Yes.
He's saving saving some old man. Ended up getting blinded by some radioactive waste.
Right.
Now, the creators of Ninja Turtles gave their origin as far as them becoming humanoid freaks or mutants.
Yeah.
Off of
The
some
babies.
radioactive from
I was going to say that this whole day.
babies.
Shouts out to Ninja Turtles.
So
They
they
dropped in,
became mutants because of radioactive waste.
Correct.
The creators of the Ninja Turtles kind of gave like it's like their own weird little fan theory because they were the ones that created Ninja Turtles. They were kind of like that same radioactive waste that gave Daredevil his powers was what created the Ninja Turtles.
Right.
I heard that. So the hand and the foot are in the same universe?
No, the Foot is a parody.
Of the Hand.
Ah, so what universe
By
is
the
the Ninja Turtles in?
They are in their own. They
They're
started
just
out as an
separate from
independent. Yeah, they were an independent comic book.
Yeah. Then of course there have
Okay.
been comics recently where they did a crossover with Batman and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
that.
So-
But
they're
they've
not
always
in.
they've
they're
always
not
been
in
indie. They've always been indie.
Yeah, they're not
Okay,
in. Yeah.
I just wanted to check that because I thank you. I didn't know. I was really wondering about that because I was about to be like,
Right. Yeah,
it'd have
that's
been
great.
tight if the hand and the foot were in the same universe.
That'd be
So that
good.
means I could have Shredder.
Right? Yeah, that'd be great.
Pop up
I'd love to see
in red
Shredder
shit.
fight Luke Cage.
I think I'm gonna be Shredder for this year.
That's a good. That work. I like
I'm gonna be
that.
Shredder.
Ugh,
I'm gonna have to hit the gym.
blackwashing.
Blackwashing Shredder.
Ugh.
Oh,
The babies.
the babies. It's gonna be amazing.
Right. Okay. So, with that said, I know one thing that I know we wanted to get to, even if this is the only thing we get to after our long extended introductions that we always do,
We
which
covered
just
a lot of
becomes a
topics,
part of the
actually.
episode. Yeah, we've covered a lot of stuff. So this is one thing that I know. That Webb was upset about not getting to last week.
Oh.
And that is.
Moonlight
Yep.
by Jay-Z.
Yep.
Have you had a chance to catch the
Like
any
we
of
just,
the?
like we
What?
just give him credit of the film, Moonlight by Jay-Z.
Yeah, I was like,
Oh.
Moonlight. I was
No,
like,
it's just
movie.
funny.
Okay.
I didn't even
All right.
catch
How
that.
about the movie? You
No.
like by Jay-Z. Not the same thing.
He
Not
said it's not the same.
Have you
movie.
have you managed to
But
catch
he's
any
in
of the
Have you seen him?
any of the videos? Like one is just straight out from beginning to end Moonlight, and then one is Moonlight where they take out one part that was in there and added it at the very end,
right,
along with the outtakes.
Right.
I seen that.
Okay, you see the part with the outtakes at the end.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. It's essentially the same thing, except there's just the part with Hannibal Buress was normally in the middle of the show, like right before Jared Carmichael. That's his name, isn't it?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, right before Jared hits, like it just kind of hits him. Yeah. And do we sit there and give a? How do we do this? Okay, yeah, fuck it. We'll just go. We'll just explain the video.
Yeah,
because just in case somebody listens to this years from now, and
right? Yeah,
that
way they don't know.
Pulled or something like that.
That works.
So for some reason, the show starts off, or the video starts off as a black version of Friends. Yeah. Whereas it's exactly verbatim dialogue and every characters and everything, but just played by black people. Yep. Lakeith Stanfield from Atlanta and Get Out. Mm-hmm. I feel really bad for forgetting this dude's name, but the TSA dude that was in Get Out, who was also in the Jared Carmichael show. Yeah. Jared Carmichael, who is also in the Jared Carmichael show. Right, yeah. Yeah. Tiffany Haddish, who is also in the Jared Carmichael show. Issa Rae. It's
Issa
pronounced
Rae.
Issa Rae.
Yeah, Issa Rae.
Yeah, Issa Rae from Insecure.
Issa Rae if it's 21 Savage.
Issa Rae.
Issa Rae if it's the
How many have I? Okay, wait, hold on. How many did I read off? 5. And oh my God, what is her name from Dear White People? And she's also going to be in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah. And God dang, what is her name? Fuck.
What is her name?
I know he's
Tessa Thompson. Tessa Thompson.
Yeah,
there we go.
There we go.
Yay. It hit me. There we go. I didn't even have to Google. So they did it. It's a specific scene in Friends where they did it verbatim, and then they had a break, and then the un-outtake version is where Jared sits there and talks to Hannibal Buress and trying to figure out, hey man, what do you think? It's like this is the stupidest shit I've ever seen. Right? Yeah. It's like it's just like black friends. It's like and then he just kind of riffs for a little bit. Yeah. And then they cut back into action. It's all right, places everyone, and then they're doing their scene, and apparently. Hannibal Buress sit there drop knowledge on Jared Carmichael because he's just like out of it the entire rest of the show. Right, yeah. And so he phases out a little bit, and next thing you know, Issa sit there, looks at him, motions to sit there quiet, and then sit there and they both walk out backstage and then open a certain door, and then all of a sudden Jared Carmichael is out in the park somewhere, and he sits on a bench and he looks up and it's the Moonlight. Yeah. So Jay-Z's song was playing throughout at some point. So that was cool.
Which is like all his videos. It's like his songs there randomly. It's like the same thing with the one with Damian Marley. It's actually like a documentary of him like hanging out with Damian Marley in Jamaica. Yeah. And them interviewing like different musicians, and all of a sudden, his song plays randomly. Just so
did y'all have thoughts about this as far what did y'all want to say about it before I say something?
I mean, I'm very interested in the just doing these kind of like weird ultra concept videos where the song is like literally in the background. It comes to the forefront, but at the same time you're not even thinking about it. You're just like, oh yeah, that's right. This is what this is for. But it's a totally different thing. It's not even. It's conceptually in a whole different. I guess. There was a clear message that they wanted to get across, and the song's like, we already got the song. You can figure out the song. We need to show you this. Okay. But we're still going to have the song there.
And, well, the thing I liked about it so much about this short film was that the layers to it. I got somebody else's fan theory that I'm about to read off, and hopefully I still got his name on there so I can give him credit. Cool. But anyway.
If not, take it.
Mine.
Too late now.
It's a yours.
It's a yours. That's the name of the episode.
It's a steal.
That's the name of the episode.
It's a steal. But nah, I was wrong with Dead Dickery. But anyway,
I like
that was a good one.
No.
It's a Dead Dickery.
Dead Dickery. I like that.
Oh God. But anyway, the layers that I liked is like when I mentioned the cast is that each of them were black actors in different portions of television. Right. And here you got broadcast television represented. You have cable television represented. You have premium television represented. Right. And which was, like Jared Carmichael. fuck, I'm so mad I can't remember his name, but TSA from Get Out
Yeah.
and Tiffany Haddish, they all were on the Jared Carmichael show, which used to be on a broadcast television before it got canceled recently.
Right.
RIP. Then we have Lakeith Stanfield, who was in Atlanta, which is on cable, FX.
Yep.
And Tessa Thompson and Issa Rae. I'm kind of bunching them together because of premium television for Issa being on Insecure, which is on HBO.
Yeah.
Tessa Thompson, which is on Dear White People, which in a way, I guess we can say premium because that was in theaters.
Yeah, right, exactly.
And here it is. It's now adapted into a television series on Netflix.
Right.
So it was funny it's dope as hell to sit there and see all four of these three different branches of television, which as far as black representation is very limited.
Yeah.
And for them to sit there and come together, and the irony of them coming together to sit there and portray what was typically white dialogue, white representation as far as these characters and this, that, and the other. And for people to also bring up, which I didn't realize until I had to search, that Living Single was out way before a year, almost a full year.
They copied
before
it exactly.
Friends.
Yeah.
And then a year later, Friends came about. Almost, for lack of better words, copy that.
Yeah.
It's culture. Culture vulture in a way. And here it is, the most popular. It's more. Here it is, more popular or more grossed more seasons, more money.
Oh yeah.
The stars as far as being able to branch out and do more things
Yeah.
compared to the cast of Living Single.
Right. Exactly.
You had a question. I said it like I was a damn teacher.
I like how you're doing this teacher thing.
I like that. Yeah, I like that.
Question in the back. The TSA from Get Out, Little Rail.
Thank you.
Howard Lee. No. His real name is Rod Williams. That's his real name.
Okay.
Rod Williams.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Thank you very
So I
much.
just want to help out with
Sweet.
that.
I
To
appreciate
the
it.
Google machine.
To the Google machine.
I appreciate that. Do you want me to read off the fan theory, or did y'all have something to chime in?
Go
on?
ahead. You do that one first.
Fan theory.
All right, then. Okay, Mal Omari, shout out to you from YouTube.
Woo.
All right, this film is
Shout
describing the evils of the music industry. In the beginning, everything's going fine. The roles are being played, and everyone's in sync. But then one of the closest characters in the show to Ross puts her finger up to her mouth, telling him to keep quiet while leading him behind the scenes. That's where everything takes place, in the dark, where no one can see you, but everyone has been. And after you do what is required of you, you win. It's all about the love of money. La La Land is a place you can get stuck in easily because of the benefits.
La La Land. I like that.
The love of money is the root of all evil, right? So as long as you're in love of money, you'll continue to be stuck in La La Land and do anything for it until moonlight illuminates the darkness and causes your mindset to change. Y'all niggas still signing deals? For real?
That's interesting.
So, yeah. So as far, I didn't take it that way, but that sounded way deeper when I copied it. It's like,
I like
when I read it.
I like that.
I think
I do too.
Yeah, the fact that I had to I've reread it. And it was like, yeah, but no, it's still crazy. Yeah, as far as kind of that's what I love about art. It's multiple interpretations.
Right, exactly.
Good art, at least.
Well, yeah.
So,
That's interesting. As far as the music industry thing, because that one makes more sense, I think, in a way. Just overall, because my whole thing when I first looked at it, because I knew the whole thing about Living Single apparently being copied to create Friends, I just was looking at it kind of like a surface level thing of, oh, Jay-Z wants to like kind of throw it in everybody's face, like, no, like this is Black Friends is Living Single, like fuck you. And there's been multiple interviews where Queen Latifah has like brought that up when she's questioned like about it. She said like, yeah, no, like we was first, they copied like straight up. But yeah, I think that music industry reference, I think that works because I mean, it's one of those things where you can recognize that there's obviously something deeper. There's something deeper going on just based on the kind of odd performance of the actions, like just like the whole like the shushing thing. Is so weird when it's taken out of context. Like in that in that context, taken out of that context is kind of odd.
Yeah.
So like looking at it that way, and then like like the going behind the scenes thing. Yeah, there's like a clear path to some kind of message, and that's the interesting thing about it.
And his theory kind of coincides a lot better with the lyrics too,
right?
Especially with the part where he's sitting there talking about y'all niggas still signing deals.
Yeah,
still,
right. And that's the whole thing too. You have to take into account, which like what we said at first was, it's funny because you don't even think about it and you forget like, oh yeah, Jay-Z's song's playing in the background the whole time. But then that's the part that could be the major clue to tie it all together that you leave out when it's kind of separated and it's not a typical music video in the way you think. But yeah, what was you gonna say, bro?
So I like this theory actually more because when I first watched this video, it didn't feel it felt out of sync with all the other videos that have come out, like the little I don't want to call them think pieces, but like these little they're kind of think pieces in a sense, in a like video think pieces.
With Mahershala Ali and then Lupita Nyong'o. Those like, are you talking about those compared to those things? Or
like
are you talking about
I would say that one. I would say even
actually all the videos.
Yeah, I would say all of them pretty much.
Each one of the video, like the interview parts, are definitely think pieces.
Yeah,
like, and sure. But like the actual video concepts and stuff, like
the one with all the viral video stuff in it, and then all of a sudden it just like goes back to the song. Like it starts off with the little kid singing. Who the fuck sings that song? Oh my god, you know how I feel. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. Is that
Nina Simone?
Yeah, Nina Simone.
Yeah.
So it goes from that, and all of a sudden it just like drops into the song. You're like, whoa, what the hell? And then it goes into like that video of the dude that's like, oh, he's high or drunk, and he's like on some real shit. He said, "Did you spit in my drink?" And he's like, "No!" And then all of a sudden it just switches back. Like there's all this weird kind of like jump arounds, but then it goes back to the music.
And each one has always been the music, right?
Yes.
So this one, when I was watching it, I didn't pay attention to the actual, like I knew the music was playing in the background, but I wasn't focusing on that.
Right.
So with this fan theory, it actually brings it more in sync with all the other ones, because I felt like all the other ones either told like the story of how music kind of changes people, it's an outlet, how it affects people, how music is both an art and in some ways a science kind of type thing. And this one, I like this theory because it gives you more like the back end of the music industry for a person who's definitely not in the music industry. Like, to me, I would think that behind the closed doors, those back office meetings, those things in the dark that are done is what really, is the real meat and potatoes, that people are stuck in that loop, and that really like set people in their la la land. I think that's a better way to say it. That sets people in their la la land, or traps them in their la la land. And then when people finally make it to a new state or a new mindset or a new whatever that gets them out of that la la land, they then, with the illumination of the moon or whatever you want to call it, I'm trying to use stuff from the story.
I like that.
They now can be free and make more choices. Like they can now break the bonds that left them in La La Land per se. And I'm doing air quotations to everybody.
Right. Yeah. All the
every time I
listeners.
say
Yeah.
La La Land.
Yeah. Just so you know, to the listener, Brenda's air quote.
So I really do actually enjoy that theory. Because when I first saw the video, I was like, oh, okay, it's a black take on Friends, which is a take on living single. And I was like, okay. Like, that's all I said. I said, oh, but he has, to your point, people from different facets of black television. Right. And these are some of like the influencers of right now. And I was like, oh, he got all of them together. But I saw like the bloopers and the interview part where they were just like talking and stuff like that, which kind of, was a little bit different because I got to see like the human side of them too, like the normal them side instead of the actor.
Right.
So I'm really enjoying it. I actually really I like the video. I'm waiting to see if we can get all of them like Lemonade, like all of them play back to back to back.
And they connect.
Yeah,
that'd
like just let them roll, and the interviews, because I would like to do the think piece part, like about the interviews, like the things that are coming up out of those interviews, like ego. Like I do want to, like, if we just do that topic alone,
that'd be interesting. I think that would be good too, to do it. But if they actually connect perfectly, if they connect the way, if that's the whole point, which I think there probably is some kind of
That's a thing. I mean,
Yeah,
there's,
oh,
like,
yeah,
you can tell
yeah,
like there's
absolutely.
a method to the madness.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
But each video are distinctly different from the
They're
next one,
very different. Yeah,
which I'm loving. Like
Yeah.
I'm loving the creativity on that part.
I
Like,
love that animated one,
Each
man.
one is
God,
completely different.
That animated one, man. That was
Story of OJ.
Yeah, Story of OJ, man. That one being the first one, it was like Jesus,
okay.
man. I know, right? Okay. J-Bo. Jay-Z is J-Bo.
I've been doing web shrugs with Jay-Z.
Jay-Z is J-Bo. Yeah, I like that a lot. But yeah, it's weird. It's good, but I like it. It's weird. It's weird. It's good, but I like
the
it.
audio
I do
just
like that
cut
theory.
out like that.
I know, it just
That's
stops.
weird. Then
Click over. But yeah, I think that like Brent said, I think that theory is probably one of the best ones.
yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Let us know what you think about the all the videos. Let's not. Yeah, we won't just focus on this one. We'll just.
It's like you got Bambi legs right now.
I know. I was
sir.
trying to think of a way to
do.
put it.
You
Yeah,
don't know
yeah.
what to do right now?
It's interesting. Post the. Just let us know what you guys think of all of. Which one's your favorite so far too? Out of all of Jay-Z's video, post it on the YouTube channels. And then also send us a message. Yes, comment on this video. You can comment on all the fucking YouTubes if you want to. It'd be weird. And then
what is our YouTube?
Comment on mad old ones. Just post it again. But yeah, it's if you search Oafdiscussions on YouTube, Oafdiscussions on YouTube, you can comment on the video. Of course, this video will be on there. You can post on there. You can comment. You can comment on other people's and tell them how wrong and how shitty their idea is, and then y'all get in a fight.
Whoa, now
That's our one
Whoa
fight.
there.
That's our one fight promotion for the like we said. You can promote fighting in moderation.
I will be lurking in the comments.
Yeah, right.
What's stewing.
You can post those in our Facebook group too.
Speaking of fighting, I just remembered Floyd and Connor this weekend or this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, it's weird. Like SummerSlam's today.
Yes. Oh shit! Within an hour.
Yeah.
If it ain't started already.
SummerSlam is today. Gamescom is going on. SummerSlam's going on, Gamescom's going on, and fucking then McGregor and Kyle, what's the name?
Money's about to get paid.
Oh God, so much money.
Regardless, yeah.
And then also post your comments. Just copy them and post them in all the YouTube videos of all the Jay-Z's videos, and then just hashtag Oafdiscussions in there, and then people will be mad confused.
Don't make us look like spam now.
Right? Yeah. But no, it won't even say anything. It'll just be like they're legit, just like the one that we've read today. They're legit theory, but then at the bottom I'll just have the same hashtag, and people will be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" But very nice.
Don't just leave comments on YouTube. By all means, send something on Podbean or give us a review whether you want a 1-star this shit or 1-5 or. Damn
5-star.
Yeah, goddamn
He got
gnat.
attacked with a gnat.
Right when I was talking.
He got attacked with a gnat.
1-star gnat. Okay?
1-star gnat.
5-star gnat.
That's what we think about.
Right?
That's what we think about.
Well, that kind of worked out too. Yeah.
1 star is the equivalent of a gnat. That's the equivalent of sending us a gnat.
Oh man, that bug could have shown up at a better time.
Right. Don't be a gnat on the internet. But Oafdiscussions@gmail.com. You can drop us a line, tell us what you think, and also drop us topics. Oafdiscussions.
iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher.
Yeah.
I just found that one out.
Yep. Facebook.com/group/Oafdiscussion. Yeah, that's Brent's podcast service of choice. Also, you can follow us on Twitter @Oafdiscussions is the Twitter for the show. @KandKidSwift is mine. Brent is @LLCoolB22. Webb is @WEBB.
The boys.
Yeah, I always want to do that every time.
God. It's like every rip. It's like, why is it?
I always want to do that every time.
Webb859 on Twitter.
Webb859. I don't know why I don't just say
Instagram,
that.
Webb.859. Groovebox Gary on Instagram for Kid Swift. LLCoolB22.
Yep. And
Legendary Shogun is on. Is the Instagram?
I mean, that's the name of
That's
mine.
the name.
Oh,
That's
that's
the
the okay.
But
at Shayna MB for Shayna's.
COOLB22. Shayna is
at Shayna MB on both on Instagram and Twitter.
if you can find. And Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob, of course, is at Jake_688, but he will not.
All right.
You can also add us.
Not.
Add us on PUBG on Player Unknown Battlegrounds. We'll play that. I'm Real Kid Swift. Brent's gonna be on there soon. Add us on
guess.
Overwatch. all the good services.
If you
PlayStation
add
Network.
me on a video
On
game
Blizzard,
system at Liquid Soul 87,
Yeah,
say
please.
who the hell you are. 'Cause
Say please, because
the
there's
porn
porn
spam
bots.
found me.
There's porn.
It
Yeah, I got me too. It
I was
got me
mad.
too.
It was
There's,
like,
there's
hey,
mad
how
porn
you doing
bots.
today? I found you on this profile. I was like, one, how
It's
the-
like,
how
one,
the
this
fuck
is
you find me on a
PlayStation,
profile
right?
search? This is a video game
Right,
service,
exactly.
and I don't have any information on here, and I don't even use my real name. So how
Right.
the fuck you find me?
Right, exactly. It's like, girl, I'm playing fucking, I'm playing Elder Scrolls right now.
What you
gotta-
doing? You got a second? No, I don't have a second. Like, you see me playing games.
You see me
look
fighting this
on the
dragon?
thing. If it
You
says
find real
Netflix,
whores
I'm
in your
chilling.
area.
Right.
If
It's
it says
like-
video games, I'm playing.
Right.
Where
You
do
see,
wanna go? It's all far on. It's only two choices here.
you see me fighting this dragon, girl. I
shit
can't talk
made
to you
me
right
mad.
now.
Shit made me mad.
It's
I know
ridiculous.
we're closing.
No,
but
you're
I wanna, these church announcements. I want to get out my church announcements.
All right. I need to hook the organ up. I'm gonna hook
Perfect
the organ
segue.
up. Hook the organ up.
So, I thought you was actually playing something.
No, I was about to.
So, church.
You're right, yeah.
Church of Oafington.
Right.
Episode 69.
Right.
We will be having an all sex episode,
Okay.
and we need your questions
Yeah, please.
or your comments. If you want anything to be discussed, please send it to one of the selected parties or on Facebook in the group or an email. So that way you can have a story and we can weigh in on, we could possibly give you advice, or you could ask about Amazon position, shit like that. If
What?
you want to go that route. I mean, we already covered Amazon position.
I mean,
so
yeah, but
you
it's
don't
just
have to worry
funny
about
because it sounds
What?
like a job opening.
that. Yeah. Get in where you fit in.
Giggity.
So
Uh,
giggity, you got it. So that's one, but we're
Puns.
really having an episode. We're gonna do an all sex episode, and we want to include you all's comments, thoughts, or topics
Thoughts.
as well,
For
even if it's on
thoughts.
relationships,
thoughts
or
for
whatever.
thoughts.
Like we'll weigh in. You'll get 3 guys' honest answers and 1 lady's.
Right.
We might have other, maybe 2 ladies' honest answers.
You was about to say that like you get 3 guys honest answers and 1 lady's
In
lies.
every hole.
And 1 lady's lies.
Or a couple.
Oh god, you'll get 3 guys in every hole. It was like Jesus.
Too soon.
Oh God.
Oh, this episode's gonna be fun.
Yeah, right. Oh my goodness.
So there's that. Definitely send us a message. Shout out to BTG. I think he's sending us something in the email.
Okay.
You might want to check the email because I think he's sending something.
Yeah.
Virus.
I did catch. I did see an email. I did see a message from him. Yeah,
Okay,
we
cool.
got to get him on at some point.
Send a virus.
You say when, and I'll set it up.
Okay.
Do you have the email?
Yeah,
we can do that.
we can discuss this after the show.
housekeeping
Yeah.
out there.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah, I
guys.
wanna
Thank you. We appreciate it as always. We will see you guys next week, every week, and this week. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Despite all those jokes, rest in peace, Dick Gregory.
Yeah, definitely.
And be
Deuces.
safe out there.
Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah, we do not.